Elden Ring. A title that needs no introduction. You know it, I know it. Game of the year, the culmination of everything From Software has learned from all their time practicing sadism. Matan Evan.
My Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton.
It's loved and hated by pretty much everyone who's played it, and rightfully so. Souls-likes are truly for the most refined of masochists, and the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC dropped not too long ago to keep us freaksters out of normal society. A brand new area to explore with new enemies, weapons, characters, bosses, and lore you could not pay me to fucking explain. But I don't want to talk about that right now. I, naive and starry-eyed as I was, decided to play through the entirety of the DLC completely on stream. Twitch.tv/@gogi, you should follow or else. And overall, I can say that my experience was actually not too bad. R'Lana's hot. Mesmer almost made me eligible for disability benefits. They're so sexy, goddammit. You can learn to throw hands with God. Curse you, babe! Overall, I could say it was pretty fun, even with all the veteran players saying this DLC was difficult, or unfair, or poorly balanced. For the life of me, I just couldn't see why. I think I just died. Anyway, General Consort Radahn's fight almost broke my sanity. And yes, this is a glorified hate tweet about Shadow of the Erdtree. Cue the montage. Before that though, I actually should go over how you unlock the area. Whoever said it was about the journey instead of the destination clearly never played a video game without waypoints. Where am I right now? Fuck. I'm gonna kill myself. The entire process to get there felt like the average bus ride to school my parents used to take. First, I had to burn down this ceiling tree, which is like, what is it with the tarnished and forest fires? The Erdtree I get, there's a lot of land under that bitch, but there's barely even enough space here for a 7-Eleven, let alone a Costco. Anyways, the tree is only accessible after beating Ramina, who I can only describe as the final evolution of insects after they've adapted to raid. It can only be burned down after defeating Playboy Cardi, you know, in order to have the right to use a fucking lighter. Side note, since I was using Mog's spear and a mimic for this, and along with the nature of Mesmer's fight, it was so visually garbled that one of my friends actually had to leave my stream because it was so disgustingly overstimulating. Keep your stream up, but I gotta stop paying attention because my light sensitive is not enjoying this right now. No, I'm not enjoying it either. Sorry that the one move, the move I'm using right now is the one that has the most red in it. Everything is so fucking red. Anyways, after rediscovering the GB and RGBT, the tree was finally blazed, which may or may not have taken me about 4 hours to realize it was accessible because I may or may not have totally forgotten about the prompt, which I explicitly read out loud. Wait, there's no way fighting the lady bitch was like super essential to the story, right? That would be really stupid. Oh my god. As soon as the tree was burned, I gained access to the next area. The thick miasma covering the eerie, decrepit floating structure finally dissipates, contrasted by the warm, golden glow of a towering, unfamiliar ancient construct. The sounds of a choir subtly but strongly filling the air with their harmonies. This is a place of reverence. Chat, we did it. Welcome to Enir-Ilim. Fuck Enir-Ilim! Okay, listen, I thought Shadowkeep was as bad as it can get. When do you stop? But no, it gets much worse. Fuck! Why is there someone that can do that? This place is what I assume is a little piece of hell that Miyazaki added into the game after the devil recognized him for his outstanding efforts. It's pretty stunning, all things considered. The amazing architecture and small details here really give off the impression that there's definitely someone here that is the full center of worship.
Did you pray today?
The enemies in the area pretty much confirm that. It's Happy Hanukkah, bitch! After fighting for my life for the first sight of Grace, I quickly found out that this is yet another area where apparently everyone hates stairs. But don't worry, as soon as I walked out into this huge pavilion, I learned that they also hate bridges too. Past the bridge is a horned shaman, who I can only describe as something that Pyrocynical must have commissioned Miyazaki to add in. Killing him nets you a revered spirit ash, a nice little prize to distract you from his BMI. And moving on, meet half the reason of why I'm even bothering to talk about this godforsaken area in the first place. The Divine Beast Warrior. These guys are huge humanoid enemies with a massive curved-tipped greatsword and the head of the Divine Beast Dancing Lion, which is a stupid boss with the stupid hitbox that I hope to never fight again. No. Unfortunately, wearing one yourself doesn't let you blend in like it's FNAF 2. I am fully convinced that these guys are actually field bosses FromSoft forgot to give boss health bars to, because why the fuck are they so strong? I hate it here! Even better, they come in 3 flavors in Enir-Ilim: lightning, ice, and wind, in that order. You can, of course, run past them and avoid the encounter, unless you're me, who tried to get past the last one before Sight of Grace to cheese the reset, but got blocked from it and almost died because the motherfucker wouldn't stop chasing me. What? Where's the grace? Well, once he spared me, I immediately went up to an actually complete staircase for once, one of the rarest possible commodities you can find in the game, to reach an important lore moment. Or, something. According to my chat, there was a whole set of quest lines I missed explaining why this was happening. Why are we suddenly, like, against each other? We were in this together from the very beginning, and now she wants to be an op? If you did the quest lines, you'd understand. Well, I'm sorry, if I could actually find the quest lines, maybe I'd understand it a little bit more. You know how hard it is to find anything, anywhere in this game without any sort of, like, direction? Breath of the Wild, I can understand. Tears of the Kingdom, I can understand. That shit made you go to 4 different places, and then do the thing, alright? That lets you explore wherever, but at least it had some sense of direction. The only thing I don't like about Elden Ring is that it does that exact same shit, but worse, because if you actually miss out on some of these quest lines that you never even knew existed, then you're just locked out of it once you get to the end. Some important shit, some exposition, I'll figure it out later. I'll watch a fucking video on it or something. Anyways, now we have to fight them. Oh shit. Now we have to... I ran out of juice! Now we have to fight them. Damn it! Ah, god damn it. I shouldn't have gone for the 3rd one. Wait, hold on. What? Ah, shit, there's a 2nd one still. Wait! Yo! Yeah! Oh, thank God. Afterwards, you can rob their corpses, but at this point in the game, I was already set in my ways and did not have the desire to get out and get more upgrades at the moment. Now, finally, after hours of dungeons, bosses, and constant backtracking, I walked up the winding stairs, made it to my 2nd to last sight of Grace, walked through the warping boss gate, and finally reached my final destination of this long and arduous $40 journey.
My loyal blade and champion of the festival. Both your deeds will ever be praised in song. Now, the vow will be honored, and my lord brother's soul will return, so that he may be my consort.
This, yeah, fight, and he killed me with that. Was, oh, okay, brutal. Okay. To this day, I cannot possibly understand how the fuck this coked up steroid guzzler ever drew with Milady in the first place. Fun fact, before this I clocked in over 19 hours trying to fight that walking cancer cell. Oh, you like that? Right in front of your face! And even then it didn't feel as disgustingly soul-breaking to have to beat this absolute unit. Yep, I just don't know what I'm doing at this point. It's getting worse and worse. It's just getting worse. In fact, going into this, I was pretty damn confident. Every other boss before this landed between surprisingly easy to motion-sickeningly troublesome. On top of that, as I was writing this, he actually ended up getting nerfed, not only making him the only boss in Elden Ring to get nerfed in both base and DLC, but also makes me, and everyone else who beat him before then, a Giga Chad with an 8-inch lang penis for being able to beat the guy before Michael Zaki gave him the axe. Remember when I said I was pretty set in my ways? Well, it wouldn't be the first time someone you trusted lied to you. This fight was so hard that I had to go back and reallocate my stats and change my set about over 5 times just to feel like I even had a 1% chance of beating him. At first, I kind of wanted to do a bit where I'd beat Radahn in my own little cosplay of him, you know, to keep the theme going and send a message. Aw, shit, his is better than mine. His is better than mine. He is my favorite character in Elden Ring, and his set pretty much took me through the entire base game, except for that one time I fought Milady. Yeah, it went pretty much about as well as wearing a Legion outfit around an NCR base in Fallout. I swear to God, that fentanyl addict that I killed. At first, my philosophy was to allocate my stats for the base requirements needed to try out about 2 or 3 weapons I thought would be interesting, which was a stupid idea for stupid fools that I'll never do again. You must understand, I am incredibly not smart, and there were no crazy sides for me to hyperfixate on, so I was at a loss. Radahn's swords, Mog's spear for the stagger and bleed, and Uchigatana and Rivers of Blood, also for the bleed, and faster attack speed. Eventually, after about 2 hours, I landed on the Uchigatana Rivers of Blood combo, upgraded them to max level, set the Uchigatana to quality for a bit of a stat boost, and finally reallocated my stats properly for him, and a certain spell I'll talk about in a bit. Now, it was finally time to take on this challenge for real this time. Fuck! Damn it! Shit. He wasn't even aiming at me! See, Consort Radahn is actually really funny. Not like haha funny, more like watching Talk to a 3 episodes in funny.
Today I'll be watching the Talk to a podcast until I cringe. Let's go.
Hot to.
You gotta put like an emphasis on it, like to.
Okay, video's over.
The worst thing about pre-nerf Radahn was the amount of bullshit moves in his arsenal. He comes hard, he comes fast, and by the time you finish blinking, it's all over your face if you're not paying attention. My general approach to boss fights is to pot up and then jump in with Twin to get an idea of what I'm dealing with, but sadly Radahn jumps you back. Why? Most of the time when I try to summon my mimic at the beginning, this happens. Like the average Atlanta rapper, he crashes out immediately. And notice how I said most of the time. That's because Radahn's initial attack patterns are about as consistent as the writing of this video. But that's just the beginning, just the tip of this probably 19-inch dick. The shaft comes from a lot of his bigger moves, like this one, where his sword reaches so far it actually hits someone fighting him on another server. Or this special move of his great sword that we borrowed, except it's way better because fuck you. Or this move, where the first swing is delayed for so long you'll have your mortgage paid off and see your kids get married by the time it lands. A lot of his attacks are quick and brutal, but nothing compares to 2 specific ones that plagued myself and many others when fighting this titan. The double cross slash. An insanely quick sword attack where he swings from his left, then right, then both, creating a shockwave in front of him. This is the one move he had that I just could not overcome because it's a straight up frame trap. If you don't know the right way to dodge, one of these will hit you, stopping you from getting out of the way of the 0.2 frame cross slash that will do insane damage. And what's the right way, you ask? He got nerfed, so why the fuck does it matter? And finally, a move so devastatingly powerful and game-breaking that it may cause you to physically die in real life every time it happens. Think of that. Why am I lagging? Why am I lagging? Is my controller fucking up right now? I I'm dead. I'm dead because this piece of shit is what I have to use right now. Using an old shitty Xbox controller. Oh my god, my controller has disconnected and got me fucked so many times during the hours and hours of me trying to beat him, to the point where I got so mad that I actually broke the cord connecting it to my computer. After a good maybe 6 hours of getting used to his first phase and getting used like a fleshlight, I finally decided it was time to do something crazy and come in with a strategy. And one of my homies who was watching got me privy to a certain spell I vaguely mentioned earlier. Rotten Butterflies, a spell you can only obtain after defeating Ramina. After doing a KSI impression, you conjure a field of butterflies that explode after a bit of time and apply Scarlet Rot if enough hit. So, yeah, I had to cheese him. You can say that Scarlet Rot is bullshit, or spells are for noobs, or you can say I took the easy way out. But you didn't have to go to bed with those fucking sword swings haunting you every time you close your eyes for a week. If I can handle that, he can handle a little PTSD. As soon as he dashed into me, I dodge, activate the spell, and unlock the CTE passive before going about the fight as normal, which would ultimately get me to the second phase most consistently. Oh fuck, I forgot about the second phase.
Lord brother, at long last you are returned. Tarnished one, aspiring lord of the old order. If you have known sin, if you grieve for this world, then yield the path forward to us. To I, Nicola, and my promised consort, Radahn.
Did you feel proud of yourself? Did you feel proud for getting the square into the square hole? Welcome to the real world, Timmy. Second phase is when the fight actually starts. Oh god, what is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? Oh! Once you manage to get Radahn's health low enough, his personal femboy brother lover descends from his staircase of skulls to grant him a Broly boost that he really needed for some reason. I don't care what the lore is, there is 100% some Alabamian shit going on with these two. The signs are right there. A Japanese studio and a story written by George R.R. Martin. This was destined to happen. I need a legitimate check that Mikkel is a fully penis man, because no amount of estrogen or pink monster can get any him looking like a Roman towel boy. He has a penis? Even better! This phase is actually one of the most unique I've seen from any boss so far. Maybe because as soon as you get to it, you get teleported right back outside the gate for some reason. What the fuck? Femboy Mind Control Radahn is so juiced up, you barely manage to see even 3 moves before getting sent back to the lobby. If you can even see anything at all. What am I supposed to do about that? Most of his moves won't even register in your noggin, since every attack comes with a complimentary flashbang. That doubles as a frag grenade. Not only are your eyes and ears getting assaulted, but you now have to figure out where you need to dodge to not get hit by a massive explosion after every move. It's the right, by the way. This felt damn near impossible. Every single move feels like it needs a hyperlink to a how-to guide, like Light of Mikola, where he casually sets off a nuke right at the beginning of the fight, or this anime-ass move, which I can only describe as the afterimage technique if all the afterimages had a gun, which I never have ever, or will ever, figure out how to dodge, so I opted to just take a final stand with my flimsy-ass Anime Expo katana. Oh, that didn't convince you? Okay, then how about this move, or this move, or this, or this? Most of his arsenal can stun lock you, kill you in one hit, or kill in a combo that feels like one hit. But the one I absolutely loathe the most, the one that no player should ever get caught by lest you have to change your whole identity. Bring it in and you start using shit tactics? What?
I promise
What?
you a 1,000-year voyage guided by compassion.
No! The Femboys Embrace. It comes in 2 parts. Denial. Oh, leave me alone. I'm not gay. And acceptance.
The
In denial, Radahn jumps up and grabs you on the way down. It doesn't do any damage, but he raises you up to his promised twink to initiate the femboy indoctrination. You'll then have this little icon over your head to let you know that you've gone from straight to bi-curious. And if you get grabbed again, it's truly over. The femboy mind control has finally taken effect. You are gay. Don't forget your jockstrap and prep on the way out. And finally, to cap all of this off is the final move before the home stretch. Once you get Radahn to around
30%,
he does something very, very familiar. What the fuck is going on? Oh my god. 2 nukes. I like to call it the Hunks dive bomb. Honestly, this move actually isn't as much of an issue as the others. All you gotta do is run to the steps in front of the Twin Towers before the dive hits. Radahn was nerfed on 9/11. That's all I'm saying. If you manage to survive it, congratulations! You now have to just throw hands until the health bar is empty. At this point, I was so clenched I could have turned coal into diamonds with my prostate. The final stretch had me sweating and my heart pounding. 14 hours over the course of 3 days of nothing but fighting, dying, and doing it all over again. I was so exasperated and desperate that I committed a small streamer cardinal sin and kept quiet during the final day just to focus up. My eyes were glued to the screen, my chat was moving at a moderate pace. I wanted to, no, I needed to beat him. This was everything, and finally, after hours of sadness and sorrow, I found my door. I grit my teeth, planted my feet, and eventually managed to take this bastard down once and for... Just a fluke, okay? This time, I managed to take this bastard down once and for all. Fuck. My loins are on fire. So after this long uncut yap session, you might be wondering, why isn't this video over yet? Or if you're not a prick, you might wonder what I thought about the whole fight overall. You know, if
22 minutes
of trauma dumping wasn't enough to give you an idea. Trigger warning, my opinions. During my struggle, what I lost in time and humanity, I gained in hopelessness and homophobia. This whole fight feels like a clusterfuck Miyazaki coated in a methed up bender and sent in as the final product. It feels so unbalanced for no reason other than to add a little more time to your playthrough and therapy sessions. A lot of the main problems I have with this fight can be attributed to going blind, or a fucking frame trap that's too fast to dodge and does half your health and damage, or Mikola directly frauding my frame rate. Oh, if you're a real nerd about the game, then you may know that every enemy has a certain level of poise or stance, the value that dictates how easily you can stagger them. You can decrease this by hitting the boss with huge attacks, and it regens when they aren't hit for a certain amount of time. The general rule of thumb is the bigger the boss, the more stance they get, the longer it takes to regen. I can accept Radahn having 120 poise. You know, bosses his size usually get around that much, but why the fuck does his regen start only after 6 seconds of not hitting him?
At 120 poise, he should have a 10-second regen, but his is only 6. This is wildly inconsistent as bosses in his range have a longer window.
But it only takes as much time as Millennia's? Why? Speaking of Millennia, I mentioned earlier that it took me around 19 hours to beat. Radahn only took me around 14, 5 hours less. And even then it felt more fulfilling and rewarding to practice feminism than it did for Radahn. By the end, I just didn't feel like I had a fun experience learning his moves and figuring out how to beat him. Yeah, I'm horrible at games like these. And yes, I am very unga bunga. My main strategy for boss fights is just bashing my head until either the wall or my skull cracks. But holy hell, this was something else. I believe a lot of Elden Ring veterans agree it was questionably made. I mean, it got nerfed for a reason. It was tedious, annoying, and most of all, just not a great fight. Also, for a fight as OD as this, like, you'd think you'd get some game-breaking item or a huge lore reveal through a cutscene, but nope. All you get is a shitty tiara and a slideshow of Mikola praying to Milky Way for one more hit of estrogen, probably. But at the end of the day, it's done. I can uninstall Elden Ring and finally take a break from a hard-as-fuck Souls-like game for a long, long while.